Welcome, everybody. We're here to talk about our pools and our budget a little bit and what's giving everybody an update as we move toward finalizing our budget here on July 1st. Obviously, there's lots of emotions going on in the community as we're facing a budget that has some cuts associated with it that nobody's happy about, least of whom is me. But nevertheless, my job is to balance the budget with the decisions that the council has made. So when we think about how we make our decisions, I've talked earlier, we use our values always to drive what the decisions are of our city, just like any good organization would do. As you all know, our city values are lifelong learning, health, and compassion. And then we also use data to make the best decisions that we possibly can. And these values have just guided our city in good times, like the overall city is going through right now. But they also inform us when we have to face challenges like we're facing with our budget. So we've kind of got both going on in our city. The overall city is progressing very well, but city government is facing a budget challenge right now. We're facing an overall economy that's quite strong, 80,000 new jobs in the last several years, $14 billion in capital investment taking place in the city. But at the same time, we've got a minimum of a $65 million budget challenge. And it's primarily driven by this increasing obligation we have with the state due to pension payments. It's nothing that the Metro Council has done. It's nothing that the mayor's office has done, but this is an obligation that's upon us by the state. The state pension board also has changed its mortality tables, which could make this number even bigger as well. We'll know about that in the coming months. So the kind of pain that people see we're going through with the budget right now is really just a start. The cuts that we're facing minimally will be half of what's coming down the pike and maybe a third unless there's new revenue voted in by the Metro Council. So we can stop and address some of these issues if the council acts. But I just want to really emphasize with everybody, if they think this has been difficult so far, there's a lot more coming over these next couple years. And I'm not happy about that at all. But my job is to tell the truth. My job is to balance the budget. And we can't fake or pretend our way through this. It is simple math. We either need to have more revenue, or we're going to have to continue to cut services, or it needs to be some combination thereof. And if people have found out, there's no secret pot of money laying around either. We run a lean government, fourth fewest employees to population ratio of our 19 peer cities. We're one of 4 cities in the country rated at a gold standard in terms of operations, so we can always get better. But we don't run a lazy, sloppy operation here. So in the debate we've had about how to respond to the budget challenge earlier this year, my team and I were very clear that without new revenue, we'd be forced to make some painful cuts. And unfortunately, that included the cost of closing 4 of our outdoor pools. There were a lot of timing issues associated with that in terms of hiring lifeguards. There's an 8 to 12 week ramp-up period to get the pools going. So not knowing what the budget was going to be on July the 1st, we had to make that decision. Additionally, knowing that the pools operate at a loss, about $250,000 or so, that's one of the issues. The bigger issue is the pools need more than $6 million in capital expenses for maintenance and repairs that our city can't afford. I mean, the truth is that the city budget has been operating for way too long, probably over a decade now, just on a shoestring, and has not been able to invest in the type of deferred maintenance that we should be investing in. We have almost $2 billion of deferred capital investments that are required right now, either repair or new construction. So again, another indication that this has not been fat and happy times for our budgets here. A critical date was March 21st. That's when the Metro Council voted against new revenue, which left no option for this summer in our mind but closing of those pools: Norton and Camp Taylor, Algonquin, Sun Valley, and Nelson Hornback in Fairdale. And this is not the outcome that we wanted, and this is the outcome that we tried to prevent. As you know, we advocated for more revenue because we heard from our citizens that they expect a basic level of services in a community like Louisville. And we know how much our pools mean to the citizens of Louisville. They are not used extensively, but people want them available when they want to use them. And we know how important it is for kids to stay active and engaged over the summer. We're offering a bunch of activities, as we do every summer, but the pools will not be part of them. We're offering a host of summer activities, including summer reading. Cultural Pass will be announcing the launch of that for its 5th year, which has been a great program through our libraries and camps, and then other activities through Metro Parks as well. That said, now we face the reality that these pools are unfortunately closed, so the question is, how do we as a community respond? The first response I received was the morning after, it was a Saturday morning after the article in the paper came out about our various budget cuts, and that was a text message from Steve Ritchie, the CEO of Papa John's back here, and Papa John's has been an incredible partner over this past year in terms of stepping up and helping the community in so many different ways. And Steve said, how can we help? And he said, well, let's get back with you, but I appreciate that. So Steve was the first person to reach out from the community. And several other people have as well. But we also wanted to gather feedback from the people of Louisville that use the pools. So we gathered them in different meetings, walked the streets, asked people what they thought. We received more than 500 responses to a community survey, and we wanted input from folks who had used the 4 pools in the past. And they said things like, we don't use the pools every day, but we like them open when we want them open. We're willing to continue to pay for the usage of the pools, et cetera. So that's the kind of feedback that we received. Also, I mentioned when we started talking about the budget challenges that it was going to take the help of private citizens and corporations to step up. That, the challenge is, folks, that with this budget right here, this is a $35 million combination of cuts and other activities. But this is going to go on every year. So this is not like we can just stop right now. The challenge next year will be an additional $10 million on top of that, and then another 10, as I referenced earlier. So it's not like one-time gifts can help this. But hopefully these one-time gifts and philanthropic activity will give us a little breathing room in the event that the council wants to reconsider some of these issues around revenue so that we can address some of the problems that we're experiencing right now. So it's been great to see some of our community partners step up. As I mentioned, Papa John's, including CEO Steve Ritchie and the Papa John's Foundation for Building Community. It was really nice to hear from University of Louisville football alum, Jamon Brown, who read about this in the papers and has a tie into Papa John's as well. He's a former Fern Creek Tiger who's playing for the NFL's Atlanta Falcons. He said he wanted to help. And then when he said that, the Atlanta Falcons said, well, we'll match what you put in, Jamon. So we appreciate the support both from Jamon and the Atlanta Falcons. So with the help of Papa John's, Jamon and our community, partners at JCPS and YMCA, we have a plan to ensure children and families across Louisville have affordable opportunities to swim this summer. So some good news is coming out of this. And here's how it will work. The YMCA will host a total of 10 community swimming events, half at the Southwest Y and half at the Downtown Y. Fees for these events will be $3 per person, 14 years of age of older, and $2 for youth 13 and under. So for context, these rates are comparable to what people paid to access the 4 Metro-operated outdoor pools. Each of those charge $3 for adults and $2 for children 17 and under, and Metro pools charge less, often significantly less than private pools if you go swim in a private pool. Our partners at JCPS will open the pool at Central High School to the community for 4-hour structured swims on Friday and Saturdays from June 14th until school starts back in August. Those sessions at Central High School will host summer camps, community organization, and swim lessons. Cost is $2 per day. And finally, the Mary T. Maher Aquatic Center will host daily open community swims beginning June the 10th, Monday to Thursday from noon to 4 p.m., Friday from noon to 8 p.m., and on Saturday and Sunday from noon to 4 p.m. $3 for children 12 and under. Another consideration putting this together was that we realized that transportation may be a barrier for children and families who don't have access to a vehicle. Although we found in our community surveys that people said they typically drove themselves to the pools, but we want to provide a transportation option. So Louisville Parks and Recreation will be working with TARC to provide rides to swim sites. For questions on any of the swimming opportunities, call 574-7275 or 574-PARK, Park. And then you can find all this information and more details at bestparksever.com. So while I realize that these activities don't fully replace the capacity of the 4 pools that we're forced to close, it will give more people, especially children, access to swimming opportunities, which is an important part of the summer for many families. And I'd also like to remind folks that Metro Parks has 30 spray grounds and spray pads that are open now. They're a free and great way to cool off and take your family, pack a picnic lunch, and enjoy the day in one of our wonderful parks. And you can locate our spray grounds and spray pads by visiting bestparksever.com or by using the Parks and Recreation app that can be found in the App Store. In addition to Papa John's and Jamon Brown, I'd like to thank Steve Tarver and his team at the YMCA, Dr. Marty Polio and his staff from JCPS, and Chief Vincent James, Dana Kassler, and the team from Metro Parks and Recreation for coming up with this plan. It took a lot of work from a lot of people in a relatively short amount of time to make all this possible. Danny Mosby, Executive Director with Jamon Brown Foundation, is here. We want to thank you and your team. Please give Jamon our best for stepping forward, and the entire foundation. Appreciate it. Now we'd like to hear from a couple of our community partners. First up is Steve Ritchie, the Papa John's CEO. Again, Papa John's has been great in terms of supporting the city and being proactive. That's what I really appreciate, when people come forward and say, we want to help. So Steve's and Papa John's have made the bulk of all this really possible. Please welcome Steve Ritchie.
So good morning, everyone. I first want to thank the mayor. Thank you for your courageous leadership, dealing with difficult challenges, coming up with creative solutions. That takes strong leadership. I myself find myself walking in similar shoes in a company that is in financial distress, dealing with challenges and trying to come up with creative solutions. So I think we have come up collectively as a group of partners here on the stage today with a solution that provides access and provides opportunity. As the mayor spoke, as I sent him the text that weekend, so I grew up here in the city of Louisville, product of West Butyl. I actually used the public pools on the weekends many times with my friends. So when I saw what was happening there with the budget crisis and having to make hard choices, we created a foundation, the Papa John's Foundation, earlier this year, and this fit exactly with what we intend to do. Provide access, opportunity, bring communities together, and an emotional connection to me personally based on my experiences. So with great gratitude, the opportunity to provide some support with this. We're very excited about it. And we provide pizza. So pizza in summer, obviously a close connection and opportunity to bring children and families together here. So I also want to commend the mayor and the Metro Parks for really working hard to listening. It's something that I'm very proud of, is the power of listening and understanding, seek to understand how to provide solutions. They reached out to the communities that were impacted by these pools. Didn't just make a decision based on the current options that we had available. Took the feedback and created this solution. And I think it's a great solution. Not only providing access to the pools, but thank you to the pool there at Central High School, also going to provide lessons, swim lessons to young children to learn how to swim. What a great opportunity. Thank you to the YMCA. You got the Southwest YMCA and the downtown YMCA. I myself spent a lot of time in the YMCA as a child. So 10 different opportunities to provide those weekends to children and families to come enjoy the pools. I also want to make it bigger. I want to make an opportunity to also, we have pizza, so how do we bring that together? So I'm going to commit to, when you come and visit on those occasions of those pools, you're going to have access to free Papa John's pizza. So we'll do that. Absolutely. Thank you. So it might cost you a little bit of money to get there, but you don't have to pay for lunch, because lunch is on Papa John's, because that's the little things that we can continue to do to try to make this better. So just once again, I think a little thing that we're doing here, but hopefully those little things provide great opportunities for children and families to enjoy this summer. So thank you for the opportunity, and I'll turn it back over to the mayor.
All right, thank you, Steve, and thank you for the pizza. Appreciate that. Got another great partner in the YMCA. Steve Tarver is the CEO and president there, steps up in so many different ways to help the community. And when this swim challenge became present, he too said, hey, let's talk about how we can use our combined assets to come up with some solutions. So please welcome Steve Tarver.
Good morning. You should know that my first job at the YMCA many decades ago was as a lifeguard and a swim instructor, so this is very near and dear to my heart. And certainly we are in a challenging time, and that is a broad we, not just the Metro Council, not just the mayor's office, but it's all of us. And but it also offers a time for some creativity and teamwork that has been brought together. And the announcement today represents, and this is my personal observation from having participated in this conversation since its inception, that represents well-intended people coming together in a very short period of time, as the mayor suggested, to address this challenge. And so having been in this work for well over 40 years with the YMCA, it's the only career I've ever had, I can tell you that, and I think a lot of people are not aware necessarily of how operating a swimming pool is typically more complicated and more expensive than most people realize. But sharing a goal of bridging that gap is faced here, and that is a great motivator for the community. And so I and the YMCA are pleased to participate in this collaboration with the other partners who you're meeting, and to offer some options for healthy and safe activities in the pool for the community for this summer. And like I said, I've taught thousands of children to swim. I have lifeguarded hundreds and hundreds of hours over my career, and I can see, I know the sparkle that comes in the eyes, particularly of children, when they have these opportunities. One quick commercial: if you are or know someone who is 16 years or older, then there's jobs that goes with this. And so we have training cohorts. Even if you're not an expert swimmer, we will upgrade your swimming skills. We will take you through the entire certification process, and there'll be a job waiting for you at the end, a job that could even be extended into a year-round situation with the YMCA and with other partners. So please pass the word in that regard. This is the 166th year of existence of the YMCA in the greater Louisville community. And we've been involved in many challenges going back to the middle 1800s. This is just the next opportunity that we have to serve together, and I hope that this will just be another stepping stone in that history. But certainly I add my thanks to the Papa John's Foundation, the Jamon Brown Foundation, Metro Government, Jefferson County Public Schools, great partners that we have in many different ways. And also thanks, and I'm so proud to serve with our YMCA staff, some of whom are on the stage behind me here, that are picking this effort up in addition to everything else they have to do at the YMCA. I'm proud to serve with them every day. And of course the staff of Metro Parks that will be involved in this, and these will not be three isolated partners working together. This will be a conglomerate of partners that will hopefully provide some seamless opportunities for our community. But I'm grateful for their energy and their willingness to step up in making this happen. We will continue to learn, as the mayor implied in his remarks. I'll see you at the pool. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve, and to the whole YMCA team. Thank you, guys. JCPS, another tremendous partner. Whenever there's opportunities for us to work together to benefit our kids, Dr. Polio and his team are always all in, and so this is another example of that. So Dr. Polio is going to share a few words with us. Marty?
Thank you, Mayor Fisher. Proud to be here and stand up and talk about the partnerships that JCPS will be bringing this summer. Like Steve said, we are also facing challenges and coming up with creative solutions to address those challenges. So we share that, and we are working hard, and we have great partners up here with the Papa John's Foundation, Louisville Metro Government, the Y. So great partners that we are working with. We have, I think we're down to now, after today, 7 days of school left. And I know many of our kids would like it to be less than that. But we are getting down to those final 7 days. And next Friday we will be out. We will be holding graduations all across this community, an exciting time for us. But it's very important for us that we know that learning does not end on the last day of school. We must continue to work with our students through the summer months. And research is very clear about children that have the opportunity for additional learning experiences, whether that be a camp a program, an opportunity in one of our foundations, our nonprofits, the work that they do. When our children have the opportunity, achievement grows and that summer slide reduces. And so we are working hard at JCPS to be creative about the ways that we add additional opportunities for our students in the coming months between next Friday and August 15th when we come back to school. We want as many kids as possible to be active and part of engaging learning experiences. And so we have always had our Lit and programs, Lit and robotics and many other Lit and programs that are really working on literacy. And for the first time ever, we are implementing our Backpack League this summer. We will have 1,000 students coming every single day that will be hosted at Mayo High School for a 4-week summer program that will work on engaging fun activities for kids while we support math and reading skills of our students. So we're excited about that, and then we're partnering with a lot of our community partners, our colleagues around that host summer opportunities, and we are providing reading and math teachers so that we can support that work as well. We hope to touch more than 3,000 students, elementary to middle school students over the summer months. Along with that, we want our kids to be engaged and having incredible opportunities and fun opportunities over the summer. And we are proud to stand up and partner with Louisville Metro government with our Y to make Central High School available and that pool available. Both of those organizations have stepped up for JCPS many times, and we are proud to step up and offer that opportunity Fridays and Saturdays for 4-hour time periods at Central High School for kids to come and have access to the swimming pool. So we look forward to doing that. I can't say enough about the partnership with Mayor Fisher, that we continue to work with the city. I don't think there's a better partnership anywhere in America between the city and the public school system. And I'd also like to recognize the Y, the great work that we have going on with the Y. I don't think you'll find anywhere else in America where you have the combination of a school and a Y that share a facility, and we plan on doing that more in the coming years. So great partnerships here. Thank you to Papa John's Foundation for their continued support, and the Jamon Brown Foundation, proud graduate of JCPS Fern Creek High School. So we're just happy to be partners in this work and look forward to a great summer. Thank you.
Okay, closing out our remarks here is our Chief of Community Building, who's got a big job with a lot of areas of the community that he oversees. One of those is Parks. Parks, of course, is run by Dana Kassler and his team. But we'd like now to hear from Vincent James, Chief of our Community Building.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher, and I want to thank all of our partners too. You know, when we think about the challenge that we faced this year, when we looked at the reality of the budget and what we were facing, we were not able to generate additional revenue, and the obstacles that we faced, and to look at how people became really creative, and often it's said that necessity is the mother of invention. And so when great minds came together, great leaders came together to figure out a way in terms of how can we provide our community with an opportunity to be able to do what they love to do, and an opportunity to be able to be educated in the process of doing that. You had some incredible leadership that came together through the Y, through the Papa John's Foundation, through the Jamon Brown Foundation, JCPS, all of these partners coming together. And I especially want to thank Dana Kessler and the Parks and Recreations team, and Margaret Brosco, for them and going to the community, having the insight to say that we're not just going to put something together, but we're going to go ask our residents, what is it that you like? What is it that you do? Because when you hear the voice of the community and when they speak the loudest because that's who we serve. We are public servants. We're not servant of ourselves, we are public servants. And the reality of that, we serve our people. And the best way to serve our people is to understand what their needs are. And so I'm so appreciative of the fact that we have an opportunity to be able to do so. And when we serve our people best is when we provide for them the services that they desire. And through the opportunity of being able to swim this summer for our young people, but not only to swim, but to be in safe environments, but not only to be in a safe environment, have an opportunity to be able to learn how to swim. That's an incredible thing. When we think about what happens across this country and how many people die senselessly to drowning, is unacceptable. We have an opportunity to be able to teach and kids to be able to learn how to swim. But most importantly, one of the things that I think that really needs to be stated and understood is that Louisville Metro government is not giving up on our pools. Our pools are in a deficit as it relates to deferred maintenance. There's a lot of resources that have to go into those pools to be able to get them back up to speed. And so we are going to do what we can do, but we also need the revenue to be able to do that. And I think our citizens will understand that, and they know that, and an opportunity to be able to generate new revenue, to be able to invest in our park system, to be able to invest in our community, to be able to invest in our people. And the power of public-private partnerships is really what makes the city a different city. When you look at these cities that are cutting-edge cities, that are breakout cities across this country, it's not just government engaged in making a difference in the community. It's the leadership of government, the leadership of the private sector, coming together creatively, thinking about how we can solve these very complex problems. And this is a very complex problem that we had to answer in a very short period of time. But that's what happens when great minds come together, and working in partnership, we can solve a whole lot more. And so I'm encouraged by the Papa John's Foundation, and encouraged by JCPS, and encouraged by Jermon Brown, a citizen who wanted to give back to his community, and a professional athlete that's gone away but still has his heart of the community at the center of who he is. And so thankful for Steve in terms of the YMCA and what they're doing and what they continually provide. And so we're excited about what's going to happen, because we know the best is yet to come. We have an opportunity to be able to see the future right now, and as we work together to see a collective impact on our community to make a difference. So thank you so much, Mayor, and thank you to all of our partners.
Thank you, Vincent. All right, now I want to thank everybody for coming out. Obviously, this is a challenge for us, but when you see our community come together this way, it's really reassuring to know that's how we operate as a community. It's part of our community's DNA. So we're thankful for that. Now, as we go through this budget cycle, I want people to kind of step back and reflect too, and say, you know, a city our size with the kind of economic activity that we've got going on should be able to provide, you know, good public outdoor pool options for citizens in the summer. So much of this budget discussion we have has to be answered by the question of what kind of city do we want to be? And we're facing budget challenges, like many people have at home. And when they do that, they have decisions and choices to make. So we're trying to address this $65 million multi-year budget challenge with no new revenue. And the reality is, until we secure new revenue, we're going to continue to face cuts, and deeper cuts than what we're talking about here, every year for the next several years. So as the council goes about debating my budget proposal for the coming fiscal year right now, if the people of Louisville want more robust and more complete city services, whether it be fire, police, libraries, any city service, you gotta let your council know, let your council members know that you support new revenue for the future of our city. We got so much great momentum going on right now. Let's make sure that we continue to do the job that our citizens want in terms of basic city services, and that our citizens say, hey, I'm willing to throw in an extra $10 a month or whatever it might be to bring these city services back. So we're a great city with a lot of good things going on. We will address whatever challenge that we have. We will do it both public and private, as we're demonstrating here today. And again, I want to thank everybody up here for rising to this occasion. Thank the media for coming out and covering this and spreading the message to our community. So with that, we're happy to take a few questions.